I hope you guys like talking about money because today we're going to uncover all the wealth and financial secrets from all the greats throughout the time and history of our world. And today, you guys are in for a treat. What's up, everybody? Rudy with Vantage Mindset, where I'm a life and business strategist. And for the past 10 years, I've developed all the philosophies, all the secret ancient teachings from all the great philosophers of our time, and kind of compiled them all to see what are the similarities between life and business. And then today we're stepping into that, of which we're talking about wealth and finances. And so here we go. And so two of my favorite people when it comes to talking about smart money tactics, it's going to be Neville Goddard and Bob Proctor. My personal mentor brought me up with one foundational thought, one core principle in our beliefs and all of our practices that he wanted to instill from me right from the beginning. And without this, you gaining a relationship and gaining that wealth and financial abundance that you're looking for, it's not going to happen. So let me tell you what that secret is. It's first, thoughts are things. Yes, you heard me right. Thoughts are things. You can go and look it up. All the greats are going to talk about this. The Napoleon Hills, Bob Proctors, Neville Goddards. But what we need to do is first we need to imagine ourselves. We have to have the relationship with ourselves that we already have the money and the wealth that we're searching for. And so Neville Goddard himself was really big on the power of visualization, especially when it came to wealth creation. What he talks about is first you must visualize. Like you have to actually see yourself living that life of what you want. And the more specific you can get, the faster you're going to be able to manifest that life to yourself. All the way down to, how much money exactly do you want? Because if you say, I just want more money, then God or the universe may hand you $1, $5, $10 and say, here's more money for you as you commanded. But if you're not going to be specific, you're not going to get exactly it is what you're looking for. And so what Neville Goddard really emphasizes on is first you have to do the visualizing part. You have to hold this image in your head. You have to do it morning, day, and night consistently. And to top it off, what you also must do is you must imagine and feel all the emotions that you can while you're visualizing that version of yourself. And so Bob Proctor is another one that I like and I study from. Those are actually my two favorite because Bob Proctors are really big into vibrations and into about the law of attraction and money. I think one of the great things, if you're looking to get to that point of extreme wealth and financial abundance, you have to ask yourself, what is the money going to do for you? Or more importantly, who are you going to become once you get that money? I think a lot of us don't really spend the time to think about that question. I know for me, and I'm only going to speak on myself because I don't want to lead you guys astray. Other people can share their stories with you, how they feel is necessary. But for myself, it took me years to get to a point to where I felt financially free and abundant and that I was worthy of money. A lot of it had to do with my upbringing, the environment I was brought up into, the negative thoughts that were planted inside of my head for a long time. But it wasn't until I actually started to feel, hey, it doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter where you come from. You're worthy. You're a son of God, the Almighty. Let me get back to talking about Neville and Bob. So the most important thing, and what I really want you guys to do right now is ask yourself, who do you need to be in order to get the money or the life that you guys are desiring right now? Because if you're not going to become a good person in acquiring that money, or if you get the money and then it's going to turn you into someone you didn't want to become, just stop working on trying to attract a bunch of money to yourself and start focusing on who it is you need to become in a version of yourself that is good, someone that serves other people. Because I'll tell you, the biggest secret to gaining financial wealth is being able to serve better than anybody else. When you can solve problems and serve for people, you'll never go broke. Trust me. Now that we step out of the philosophy part of it, I really want to talk into kind of more of a traditional standard of what are some principles and tactics that people use nowadays to really make sure that they're keeping themselves in a situation to where if something were to go wrong, they're set up to be able to handle that, and they're really balanced out with their finances. And so one of the first rules that I really like, it's very basic and easy to follow, is the 50-30-20 rule. So 50% of all of your income is going to go for your needs. So bills, electricity, food, gas, car bills, kids, you name it, 50%. So this is what we got to try to do. So if you're only making $5,000 a month, and 2,500 of that, you got to try to fit a lifestyle with $2,500. 30% of that is for your wants. So these are the things that aren't absolutely necessary, but things that you want. And it's good to want things. Everybody should want things. So don't feel bad about wanting things. There's a difference between wanting things that are unnecessary and complete waste versus wanting things that can actually bring more value to your life. And we'll go over those in just a few minutes. And the last 20% is for, savings or paying off any debt, or what one would refer to as a rainy day. If anything goes bad. So 50, 30, 20. Just understand where you are, how much you bring in after taxes, and then break down these three sections and kind of see where you're at. And then you're gonna ask yourself, okay, can I support myself based on these numbers? And if the answer is no, then now we need to start thinking about ways to make more money, which is where you can reach out to me, because I actually teach people how to take their passions, their God-given gifts. I learned how to find that in people and bring it out, and then teach people how to make money with it. Because that's the whole point. I really truly believe that God gave us all individual, unique skill sets and gifts to be able to go out and give to the world for services and purpose of making this place a better place. And with that, God is going to reward us. That's just my true beliefs. So after we get down to 50, 30, 20, we want to start understanding what's the difference between, and this goes back to my 30%, your wants. There's a difference that I want you guys to understand, that I didn't really see it this way when I was growing up. But once I really started to get more money, get into business and understand how money works, there's a difference between buying something that's an asset or buying something that is just a liability. It doesn't do anything. It's like buying a new pair of shoes. Buy a pair of shoes for $150. You wear them one time, the value goes down. You can't really do anything to make yourself money with those shoes. So that I wouldn't consider that a great asset versus going out and buying a lawnmower for $150 that you could then go and mow for 1 month all of your neighbors' yards, or however many people want to pay you $25 to $50 to mow their lawn. And you can make all of that money back that you paid for the lawnmower, plus more, if you decide to keep going with it. So when you buy something that you can then make more money with it, that's an asset. And so for that 30%, we got to make sure that we're understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. This is what all people who are wealthy, especially financially, they understand this. And it's one of the most important things. The second next important thing is understanding the power of credit. We're not taught about credit. A lot of I know myself was taught, hey, don't get a credit card, just use a debit card or cash, because you're going to get yourself in trouble. And you could get yourself in trouble. They're not wrong about that, but that's a very scarce mindset. I don't operate off of what ifs and could be's. I trust myself to handle my stuff responsibly. And what you'll realize is when you get good credit is basically like having a very good resume. So when bankers or agencies or people selling you homes or apartments, or you're getting a new car, if you have a better credit score, not only are you going to get a better rate on interest, so you're going to save in the long run, you're going to get approved faster, and you're going to be able to utilize your credit to benefit yourself. And once you understand how to utilize your credit correctly, and you start opening up credit cards and lines of credit, now you get to skip the investors because you don't need their funding, because you have your own now. Or at least you have an open line of credit with a good interest rate that you don't have to go and get skyrocketed up. So if you need to go buy a big piece of machinery for $10,000 to $25,000, you can just charge it on your line of credit or your credit card, fund it yourself, especially if you open up a new card and you get 18 months of interest free. Now you're set up. There should be no reason why you can't buy a piece of machinery and in 18 months not make that money back, probably plus a little bit more. And so this is just how financially wealthy people think. It's like I said, it's all about liabilities versus assets. And when you see this and you're understanding your spending habits, you're going to be able to see that your relationship with money is going to start coming together. You're going to start attracting and making more of it, because that's just the laws of the universe. And then last thing that I want to go over is just some type of investment. And this is where I'm not skilled at. This is not my area. But for me, I'm always trying to just stay up on game, learn from people. Like I go on YouTube, I learn from a few different people that I really respect. Right now, my investments I lean a little bit more towards crypto, all for personal reasons, you know, with the whole BRICS currency, the dollar bill being inflated. I'm just not really sold on the dollar bill having its true value like it once had. And so diversifying your money is also a very smart tactic, because you don't want to have all of your money tied up into one thing, because that one thing burns to the ground and there goes everything. And so for me, it's cryptocurrency. But like I said, only do stuff with money that you can handle. Make sure that it falls into that 30% if you're going to invest in crypto or an asset. Just don't do anything that's harsh or flamboyant or just out there. You don't need to go and buy a $100,000 car just to look good. If you want to say, oh, well, it's going to make me look good, then I'm going to get more customers. Well, now you're leading with you're wanting to find customers that want you for your looks versus what you're offering them. And so just think about this stuff. There's a lot of different strategies and approaches that work. I have mine. I know what's worked for me. If you align with anything that I've taught you today, click the link below. I have a free 60-minute session with you, or I'll teach you. We'll sit together for an hour. We'll come up with a strategy plan or strategized plan that you can take for the next 6 to 12 months, and you can implement it. And I promise, if you follow the steps out of this one talk, you'll be able to turn that into 6 figures. So go ahead and click the link, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.